Flosstube. It's Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche back for my update. It's been almost 6 weeks probably since my last video, but you know, I've got a little bit to share. I haven't been crafting as much as I would hope, but that's okay because I've got a lot of time ahead of me for crafting. My plan for this video is to do quite a bit of updating. I've got a few finishes to share. I've got some whips to share, and then of course Stitch Mania plans to share. Love Stitch Mania. Participating for the 3rd year, and I've got big plans. So we'll get to that in just a few minutes. First, a life update. The semester's coming to an end. Today's April 29th. It's Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful day outside. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I waited to the end of the day almost to do this, but that's because it's so pretty. I've been outside taking pictures of all kinds of little animals, and I'll insert a couple of videos at the end of this video of our farm. We've got lots of purple martins. We've got lots of bees. We just established, how many did he establish this week? 5 new hives, plus we got a volunteer hive because as we were pulling out materials for the new hives, we realized that some had moved into the storage, and when my husband pulled out all the boxes that had the bees in them that had moved in on their own, it's a pretty big group. So I'll show videos of that at the end. And you might hear noises. My husband's out working the bees right now, so hopefully he won't come running in here. Last night he came running into the house because two of the new hives didn't like him so much, and they were all over him. But they didn't sting him. So, let's see. Lots of purple martins, lots of bees, which makes me super happy. We also have a hawk that I probably have talked about before, but he or she is getting very accustomed to us. We were out probably about 4 days ago, walking around, and we were pretty close, and he just watched us. So lots of pretty things outside. If I can get it to work, the cover or the intro picture that I'm going to put on the front of this video is actually a photo that I took this morning of one of our honeybees on some clover. It's an absolutely beautiful picture, I think. And if it works, I'm going to get that posted. If not, I'll insert it towards the end. Semester's coming to an end, which makes me very happy. Students are kind of stressed out, more so than I am, because most of my work's done and now they're having to gear up for final exams. We have 1 more week of classes. I have a night class tomorrow, and then just meeting with my other classes Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Night class on Monday night. And then the following week is final exams, and I love final exams because I don't have to work very hard. So, and then I have off pretty much the rest of the summer. I am coordinating the labs, and that's something new for me. I haven't coordinated the labs before, and so it's a little frustrating, but it's going to happen. And I'm meeting with some of the graduate students that teach the lab this next week, just to get their input as to what we can do to make improvements for the lab for them and for the students. So that should be fun. I don't have to teach. I just have to meet with graduate students and get them prepared for teaching. So that's not too bad. Then I'm doing a professional development program. I'm the facilitator many times for our professional development program. And there's a group of 10 faculty members that are going through the second set of modules, and I facilitate that with a very sweet person on our campus. And so I'll be doing that Friday afternoons, but that's not a lot of work either. It's just talking to people, which is most of the time enjoyable. I have plans to go to one retreat at the end of June in Franklin, Tennessee. It's one of Katrina's retreats, and I'm hoping to try to go to 1 or 2 other things over the course of the summer, but we'll see as plans kind of become more gelled. I know at the end of May, I'm going to the Human Anatomy and Physiology Society's annual conference. It's in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm going to drive because I love to drive. I love long drives, so I'm going to rent a car and I'm going to leave Thursday, May, what is that, 24th? What is that date? But it's the Thursday, May 24th. No, I'm going to leave Friday, May 25th and drive up to Columbus. And then with the conference is just Sunday and Monday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And then Tuesday, I'm heading back. And I'm going to drive through a state hoping to visit one of my stitchy friends. They don't know that yet, but that's my plan. But I need to be back Wednesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, something around then, because our first professional development class starts that Friday. But that's going to be fun. I love drives, and it gives me a chance to stop at different stitching stores and quilt stores and things like that along the way. So if you have any ideas, I'm going to be driving up through Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, up towards Ohio, and then my plan is to come back through Indiana and probably same kind of thing, Tennessee, Alabama, something like that. So so that's my life updates. It's been a pretty busy semester, but I feel so good. This semester's almost over and I've gotten a lot of accomplished. Finishes, I've had one finish in April, which is kind of sad, but I'm happy to show a finished project. This is Cat and Mouse by Cathy Barek. I love this. I think the little scene inside the cat is adorable. And I love the orangish and reddish colored stars on the outer portion. I just think this is a really cute project. A lot of people have left me nice comments about this on Instagram. I'm all into Instagram now. My Instagram handle is Jen Stitching Niche, and I post some progress, but I've been doing a lot of my foodimentary. For those of you who know me, I'm doing the celebration of food, the 365 days of celebration of food, and every day, whatever the day is, I'm going to try that food. So like yesterday was blueberry pie day, so I bought one of those little tiny blueberry pies from Walmart and shared it. No, actually I didn't share that one. I ate the whole thing by myself. That's okay though. I did a lot of walking this weekend. Today's shrimp scampi day, so I've got to find shrimp scampi by the end of the day. Tomorrow's raisin day, which is no big deal. I love raisins, so I always have raisins in the house. The other thing that I have is I finished a exchange. So I know if you follow Kitten Stitcher, Teresa, or Susie Reno, Sue, the two of them, myself and our friend Cathy Krause, all participate in an exchange. And this year we're doing a sampler exchange. And so this quarter, I guess it's a little longer than a year because it takes longer to stitch some of these things. We switch up. So this time my person that I stitched for was Sue. And I stitched the Quaker Diamonds by Hillside Sampling. And when I saw it, I knew I wanted to do it because Sue said she wanted samplers with red, and I'm like, oh, that would be really pretty to stitch it all in red. And I used a red silk, but it was much smaller than what I thought it was going to be. So Sue says she loves it. I hope she does. I just don't want people to think I was scrimping on the work. It was, the alphabet was stitched 1/2. I know 1/1, but I hope she likes it. She says she does. She's posted it on her Instagram as well. And then I had pulled out, what did I do with that? Hold on a second. Here it is. This is the sampler that I got in the last round from Sue. She stitched this one for me, which is a Mary Gary, I think she said. So cute. So thank you, Sue. And then this round, the person who stitched for me was actually Cathy. And Cathy does beautiful work. Sue does beautiful work too. I mean, I don't want to say it that way, but Cathy does a lot of model stitching for, you know, lots of these huge samplers. So she stitched a Blackbird Design Berry Time for me. This is gorgeous. Isn't that beautiful? And this is was in my to-do list. I've had this for a while. So I don't have to stitch it because Cathy did it, and she does beautiful work. So thank you, Cathy. And thank you, Sue, for the one that you'd sent me our last series. So somebody just bought something on my Etsy store. Thank you. Now, another thing I want to show is from one of my customers had contacted me and asked if she could mail something for Teresa to my address and that I give it to her because she wanted to send Teresa a birthday gift. And I'm like, absolutely, I would love to do that. You know, we see each other every week, at least once a week. And so she mailed it to me and I got it. And I actually got another package from her. And it's one of my customers. I'm just going to use her first name. Her first name's Lisa. And she's very, very talented. So if you watch Kitten Stitcher, Teresa's video, you'll see the gift that she received from Lisa. And then this is, in the thank you that she sent me, this was the card, which I think is absolutely beautiful. I'll have this hanging up on my magnet board because I just love to look at that flower. So beautiful. And then this paper is just beautiful. And she sent this to me as a thank you, which was very sweet. It's a vintage glass case, which reminds me of my dad's. My dad had a case that looked, or I don't think he has it anymore, looked just like this, that he had his aviator shades in, which, you know, he was in the Air Force during the 50s, and he had the coolest shades, and then he had 5 kids and let us wear them, and I don't know what happened to him. So, and this is what she sent me, this little strawberry emery, which is beautiful, and some lace. And she packed it into this beautiful little case and mailed it to me as a thank you. And I thought that was so sweet. So thank you, Lisa. I really love this. Like I said, it reminds me of my dad's case. That who knows what happened to it. When you've got that many kids and all of our friends over, who knows what happened to it. So I have something that reminds me of that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I've had lots of sweet comments on my past video. I've had a couple of people that like binge watched all my videos and made comments, and I really appreciate it. And I have to apologize. I have not had a chance to go back and respond to videos since about 2 weeks after my last posting, because it's just been crazy. And I know everybody says that it's been crazy, but with work and the classes that I was teaching and things are starting to calm down, it was just a little overwhelming. But I'm so looking forward to being able to participate more in my stitching. But like I said, I'm excited because I do have a lot more time this summer to participate and catch up on watching Flosstube, because I love Flosstube. It's almost, let's see, I started watching Flosstube in March of 2016. That's when I first heard about Stitch Mania, and I pretty much, that's all I watch. I don't watch very much television other than Flosstube. And there's some of the Flosstubers that I get excited every time their videos come up. And like Sherry Burkett, who decided not to do videos, posted one not too long ago, like this past week, for her Stitch Mania plans. And I was so happy to see her. I know that she has reasons why she's not doing it, and she's a very busy woman. I mean, she travels all the time, so I have nothing to complain about. She is very busy. But I was so happy to see her video. So Sherry, I don't know if you watch my videos, but I was happy to see you. I would just like to hear you talk, and you're just so funny. So, and then there's of course Priscilla and Chelsea. Every Saturday, I love to watch their videos. But then there are others that, you know, Stitchy Ryan is still one of my favorites. He's so funny when he presents. He's so meticulous about how he plans things, and I just enjoy watching his videos. So, and there's new ones that I'm watching. Kentucky girl in a Colorado world. I love her videos. I love her voice. I love her attitude. And that sounds bad, but she's confident, and I love that. And she stitches great things, so I love to watch her videos. And there's other ones too. I'm seeing that there are a bunch of new people that I need to go and watch their videos as well. I've been watching Donna Ray, the Flannel Jamie's Farms, and she's got, her laugh's great. And I loved her bee video, so it inspired me to get out and videotape some information about our bees, which I'll put at the end of the video. But just lots of, entertaining things. It's fun to get to know people. And then, of course, I love Teresa's videos. Her last one with her Stitch Mania, I'm like, I needed to borrow that. That was hilarious. So, I guess what I'll do next, that was all my finishes. I do have one other thing that has nothing to do with cross stitching. I'll show you. I did this while I was listening to an audio tape, and this is from Threads That Bind. It's called the Crow Catcher, but it's made out of felted wool, and I just decided to make it one day, and I thought he's really cute. What is this? Oh, his little tag is got a mind of its own, but it's really cute. He's supposed to have 2 crows under his arms, but I haven't made those. And he's also supposed to have fingers, but I couldn't get the fingers to turn the correct way. I kept ripping the wool, so he has mittens on. So isn't that cute? So that's one thing that I did work on. Let's see, what else do I have to share? I think that's it. I really have not had a lot of progress with my stitching lately. Oh, I do have one big thing to share. This happened last month, and I posted this on Instagram. This is from the Blackbird Design Weekend book, and I did this applique table runner piece, and I've had it cut out, and I've had everything for years. We've been in this house 5 years, and I had it before we moved into this house, but I finally finished it. So I will hold it up and let you see. So this is, and it's all hand applique. So there's errors, and there's the other half. So I've just got to get the backing and the batting cut, sandwich this together, and then I can get that quilted. I just love that. Isn't that pretty fabric? There you go. So then I have done some crafting. All right, so what I'm going to do next is talk about my plans for this week's WIP. So I have my year of WIPs that I'm trying to get through. I picked 18 projects. At this point, I've finished 6. So Cat and Mouse was one of those 6. So I'm a third of the way through the year, and I've finished a third of the project. So I think that's pretty good. And each week I use my random number generator to pick from the list of year of WIPs, which I'll show you my planner. I have those written down. And so I just numbered it 1 through 18, and I just used the random number generator to pick one of those. And this week, the random number generator selected one that I've already finished. So that gives me a free week, because, I got to follow the rules and the law of random numbers. And then I also used the random number generator to pick one of my 100 and something WIPs. I'm down to 90 something right now. But I picked one out of these bins that I have to stitch. And so this week, I'm going to stitch on several things. One is a Barbara Anna design that I've shown a couple of times, but I really have not spent very much time stitching on this. Let me see if I can get the cover. Well, I guess I don't have a cover picture. Yeah, there it is. Sorry. But it's called Spooky Tree. And I'm just stitching this on a piece of just random linen that I had. That's my progress. So I will stitch on that tomorrow night when I get home from my class. Probably about an hour. And we'll see how far we get with that. On Tuesday, I will work on a one of my big ones that actually is in my year of whips as well. It's the Grace Bridges, which I've shown before. This is from Stacy Nash. It's a big one. And I've got a lot of progress, but not nearly as much as I'd like. So that's my progress. And I'll stitch on that for a day. Now the thing is because I'm using the random number generator, I have 2 more days, the 2nd and the 3rd, where I don't have any whips because the number that was selected, I've finished those projects. So that means I can stitch on this if I want to, or other things. Well, other things is probably what I'm going to choose because it's Stitch Mania. And I'll share my Stitch Mania plans with you in just a minute. On the 3rd Friday, I'll stitch on Quaker Christmas from Blackbird Design. So this is one, it's a Quaker Christmas by Bygone Stitches. So I've had this pattern for a long time, and I've got that much done, and I'll keep working on it. So this was re-released. I had the pattern, and then they actually re-released this one. So some people are concerned that they can't get it, but I know it was available at the 2015 market. Okay. Oops. And then on Saturday, I will stitch on Halloween at Hollyberry Farm. And this is by Stacy Nash. I love this one. And I have very little progress. That's all I've done. And I'm stitching this on a piece of cedar plank from Lakeside Linen. I love that color. And I wouldn't have thought of that, but I think it was, what's her name? Evergreen Needle mentioned it on one of her videos. And I'm like, I've got that fabric and I'm going to do that. That's a great idea. All right. And then Sunday, I didn't have anything. And well, the one that was selected, I'm finished. So I can stitch over that. I meant skip over that. Now, I'm going to talk about Stitch Mania because some of those gaps are going to be filled by new projects. So those of you who are not familiar, Stitch Mania is a group on Facebook. It's M-A-Y-N-I-A, so it's Stitch Mania. And in 2015, they started a challenge where you would stitch a new project. You'd start a new project every day for the first 15 days of May. And this is carried out, everybody's been participating since then. So 15, 16, 17, this is the 4th year, 2018. Well, I didn't learn about it until I started watching Flosstube in 2016. And I participated the first time in 2016. And I did 16 new starts. Of those new starts, is that what I did? Yeah, it was 2016, the first time I participated. I started 16 new things. Well, I didn't finish those things because about October of 2016, I was talking to Teresa about starting a new project every day for the first 100 days of 2017. And she's like, why wait? Why don't you start? And I thought that meant she wanted to do it too. So I started new projects from October through December of 2016. That was a whole bunch. So I didn't get finished with all of my 2016 Mania starts. So I participated in 2017. Now in 2017, I had watched Brittany from Ingleside, Ingleside Imaginarium talk about the fact that she didn't want to start all those new whips when she still had things from the previous years. And she talked about doing a kind of modified Mania where she would, if she had finished the project from the previous year, she would start something new. If she didn't, she would work on that project. So I'm like, that's a good idea. So I'm going to do that. But I also modified it because it was 2017. I was going to do 17 days. And so I worked through it and had some carryovers and started some new projects. So this year, I'm like, I'm going to do 18 starts, and I'm going to do the same modification where I'm going to work on projects that are carryovers, but then if I finish the project from the previous years, I will get to start something new. So at the beginning of this idea is I would have 9 completed, so that gives me 9 new starts and 9 things that I'd have to work on. And Teresa's like, well, let's mix it up some more. Let's do where you have to stitch on everything. As you know, you add something, you still have to stitch on the ones you worked on the previous day. So I'm like, I can do that totally. So I'm doing that because that's crazy. And then I watched Primitive Stitcher, Suzette, and she's doing 31 starts. And I'm like, I want to do 31 days of Mania because, you know, she does that every year. I'm like, I'm totally doing it. So I am. Here are my plans. So 31 days. Some of them are carryovers, so you can see where it's got CO and then a number in the parentheses. Those are all my carryovers. And everything else, new starts. So we're going to go through Jennifer's Stitch Mania plans. Let me hydrate. Well, this shit's water. She'll be so proud. All right, so let me move some things around and get this big box. All right, so day 1 of Stitch Mania is a new start. This is Cooper from Cathy Barek. This was released in 2016 at the Nashville Market. No, excuse me, 2017 at Nashville Market. And I love this. It was my favorite release that year. I love hawks. We have hawks. We have red-shouldered hawks and red-tailed hawks, but this one's a beauty. Love that. So I'm going to start that. I'm stitching it on a piece of 40 count linen that I dyed myself with coffee, tea, and wine. It's very pretty. And I'm going to try, it's stitched in DMC, but I'm going to use as much of my fancy floss as I can, because I've got a lot of limited edition Gentle Arts, but I also am a member of the Victorian Motto Sampler Primitive Club, and I want to use some of that as well. Day 2 is the Farm Fob from Lizzie Kate. So this is a kit, and I'm going to start that. It comes with everything but the thread. So that's a new start. Day 3 is also a new start. It is Pumpkin and Peacock by The Good Housewife. And so, oops, you can see those pumpkins and peacocks there. And I'm going to stitch it on black Lugana. I got some 28 count black Lugana, some really good cuts of that at Market. So I've got a piece of that to work with. And day 4 is a new start. And this is Threadwork Primitive, a bee gathering. I love that. I love that bee scap, that bee. She did a great job. And I've tried to find this through my distributors to get into my shop, but I haven't been able to find it. I mean, it was released in 2013. I could probably contact Nan Lewis and see if I could order directly from her. But it is really pretty. Now, finally, May 5th is a carryover. And this carryover is from 2016. So this is a long time that I've been holding on to this thing. And it's the Spirit of Oz Santa. I've got most of the supplies. Oh, you can't see that. Most of the supplies. And I've stitched very little. But it's going to be pretty when I get it done. So, on day 6, May 6th, this is a carryover. It is the Cherry Hollow Farm Sampler from Stacy Nash. This was an exclusive kit through Nordencraft that was released at the 2015 market. Nordencraft has closed. So these are no longer, you can't order these. So if you can find them, you have to find them at a shop. I ordered a bunch of these when Nordencraft was closing and had them in my shop, and I'm sold out of them. So I've got about a little less than half to go on that particular piece. But I've been stitching on that since 2016. I need to get some work done. All right, day 7. Ooh, things are sliding around. Day 7 is another carryover from 2016. And when I was filming, I filmed this once already. And when I pulled it out, I was showing you, here it is, Chessie and Me Hillside Sheep Needle Book. I've been stitching on it for a long time. I need to get this done. And then I'm like, okay, let's see how far I've got. And when I pulled it out, I've got the front and I've got the back done. I'm like, what? What I need to do is on the inside, there is a tiny little tab that just has 2 sheep and a little leaf. That's all I have to stitch. So I can totally get that done. That is going to be on a Sunday, next Sunday. And I don't have class the following Monday. So it is going to get finished. So I will have a finish in Stitch Mania, I hope. Unless some emergency happens. All right, day 7. Oh, wait a minute. That's on day 7. Oh, that's a Monday. I don't have class, so I can stitch most of the day. Day 8 is Harvest Bird. This is a cheat. This is going to be fun. This is Harvest Bird by You and I and Friends. And it's this teeny tiny little bird. It is like 30 something by 40. And I'm going to stitch it. I'm going to start it and maybe I can finish it in the same day. Okay. Day 9 is a carryover from 2017. It is a with thy needle and thread Brenda Gervais piece called Madame Cottontail. And this is sad, people. That's as far as I've gotten. I probably haven't picked it up since last May. Day 10 is a new start. It's a Chessie and Me called Blessing of the Bee. Here. There you go. And it's hard to see. It's a tiny picture. But I'm going to stitch it on 40 count Liberty Gathering Gray. It calls for 32 count Liberty Gathering Gray, but I have a 40 count and I like those small ones. Okay, so that's day 10, Blessing of the Bee. 11 is a carryover from 2017. It is the Primitive Needle Sampler Sisters of the Thread. So lots of very, greens and grays and browns. And this is sad. Look at that. That's as far as I've gotten. Shame, shame. Okay. On day 12 is a new start. And I'm going to start Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow. So if you've watched Teresa, she talked about this with her Stitch Mania plans. She and I are both starting our Hawk Run Hollow pieces on the 12th because there's 12 parts. And we both talked about doing Hawk Run Hollow pieces. So we're going to start this together. She's not doing the same one. I think she's doing the Houses of Hawk Run Hollow or the Village of Hawk Run Hollow. I want to do the Autumn one. So let me pause because I got an important phone call. No, I'm not. I'm not going to pause. I'll just give her a message. So that was my sister, Bridget. Bridget, I'm sorry. I can't. It's important. Crafting important. Where was I at? So that's Autumn. On the 13th, I'm going to work on the Prairie Grove Peddler 3 pumpkins. I have stitched the small one and the medium one, so I just need to work on the big one. All right, I'm back. Sorry. I had to go fight a fire. So my husband was burning off some garbage. It's not necessarily garbage. We trimmed a bunch of bushes and they've been piled up and he set them on fire. And my sister's across the street, across the road at her farm. She noticed it. That was the phone call. And I went out there to see what's going on. And I'm like, you okay? He's like, no, actually, I need you to come help me. So I've been playing Smokey the Bear. Do I have smoke damage? All right, sorry. Whew. Never a dull moment. Okay, I don't know where I was. Yes, I do. It was the pumpkin, 3 pumpkins. So that was day 16. Day 17 was a carryover. Wait a minute. No, that was day 13. Day 14 is a new start. This is from Hands On Design. Oh, Say Can You See? So this is a series that came out at Market. It's called Around the Holidays. And the idea is she's got these little pin cushions, these little round pin cushions. There's 6 of them, and they're each going to be themed around a holiday. And so this one is going to be beach, summer, patriotic, you know, Say Can You See? So Bridget, Lisha, and I loved these when we saw them. So we're going to do a stitch along, as well as our older sister Sharon. And we're going to start this on day 14, May 14th, because Bridget is participating in Stitch Mania, but she's only doing 15 days, so we had to get it in then. And Lisha's doing 1 start for Mania. She says it's whatever you want to do, so she's doing 1. And we're all going to stitch it on this, which is a 32 count Lugana in Stormy Night. It's one of those printed from Witch Help. Is it Witch Help? Yeah, that's what I ordered it from. And I love this. I sell this in my shop. It's really pretty. So we collectively bought a fat quarter, and just divided it into, 4 pieces. And it's only going to be, you know, it's not a very tall piece. It's wide. We each have the chart in the velveteen, because this actually comes with the velveteen to finish it as this barrel, or you can finish it as this. And the chart has it this long way, or you can finish it as a pillow. So we all have the finishing materials, and we also all bought the pin sets. So, and I sell these in my shop, Jen's Stitching Niche, on Etsy. And we're going to do a stitch along. And the stitch along, I'll put the hashtag below, because everybody's got to get involved in. Lisha, Bridget, Sharon, you'll have to get Instagram. And this is going to be our hashtag. It's hashtag Oh Say Can You See Bridget, Lisha, Jennifer. Or Sharon, it could be Oh Say Can You Sharon, Bridget, Lisha, Jennifer. So it's OSCYSBLJ. I'll put it below. That's a little bit long, but when I was in graduate school, we had to name our different strains of flies. And I always had, you know, very specific. It made sense to me. And my advisor's like, Jennifer, your strain names are just too long. I'm like, well, it works for me. So my hashtag may be too long. Okay. Burning up now. Because it's so cool and nice and pretty outside. We've turned off our AC units, and we've got our windows open and the fans on, but I just stood around a fire and I'm burning up. Oh, I lost my sheet. Okay, so that's day 14. Day 15 is a carryover. This is Houses of Berry Chapel Road, Miss Baxter's house. So this is a carryover from 2017, and that's as far as I've gotten, just a portion of the top border. So I'll stitch on that on the 15th. On the 16th, it is With Thy Needle and Thread, 3 Black-Eyed Susans, little pumpkin-headed person, which I love. And I've got some progress on this, not a lot. But I'm stitching it on a piece of Weeks Dye Works Cocoa, I believe. That looks like cocoa. It's pretty. And that's my progress. Okay. And then the last carryover is on day 17. It's Thistle Stitches from Jeanette Douglas, who I love her stuff. And I'm stitching it on this lilac linen. And I'm not going to get it out. I just have a tiny bit of like the top and then maybe this side of the chain stitch on the outer border. But it's really pretty. All right, and then because I'm so influenced by Suzette from Primitive Stitcher, I'm going to do the rest of the month as well. So on day 18, it's a new start. This is of Female Arts. by the primitive needle. It's not helping, is it? There you go. I think it's pretty. It says, of female arts in usefulness, the needle far exceeds the rest. In ornament, there's no device affords adorning half so nice. So very pretty. On day 19, I'm stitching Pennsylvania Bird. This is from Elizabeth's Garden. And this is an interesting one because I was on Craigslist about a year ago, and someone had posted that they had a bunch of cross-stitch stuff that they wanted to sell, but she was selling it by the piece, not in a lot. So I convinced Bridget, my younger sister, to drive down to the Gulf Coast, about an hour's drive, and go through this and buy some stuff. And we bought a stack of books, and I've shown this on an earlier video. I mean, it's a lot, for 50 bucks. And this was in it, and she had already started it. But it's a new start for me. I'm going to work on this. Okay. And then day 20 is a very special start. So I've got to pull this up on my phone. Let me show you this. So Teresa is being very kind, and she has designed a chart for my shop and for my farm. So we have a bee farm. It's called Purple Martin Apiary, and if you're familiar with purple martins, they're beautiful birds, and we have lots of them. And I'm going to include some video of the purple martins at the end of this video. We have a lot of gourds out, so we have lots of birds. So she designed this for my farm and for my shop. So the top border is some flowers and little fat bees. And then the next row are the different types of beehives and bee skeps. And then the name of our farm, Purple Martin Apiary, with the gourds and a purple martin. And then it says, our honey's as sweet as our bees. And then she's got that bee. Now she's going to redesign the bee a little bit because she wants to do a honeycomb background instead of the beige. But that's going to be available through my shop once I get the model stitched. And here's the kit that she put together for me. So I'm going to start that on the 20th. So thank you very much, Teresa. I really appreciate that. And once I get the model stitched, I'll order all of the materials. Then I'll be selling this kit in my shop by sometime this summer. If you're interested, just let me know. On the 21st, I'm going to work on winter floral sampler. Just look at that cardinal. Buckeye stitcher, there's you a cardinal. Don't you love that? And I'm going to stitch it on 32 count putty. No, 40 count putty. I love that. I picked that up at Stitcher's Haven a couple of years ago when I was driving through Alabama. Lake Guntersville is a beautiful place. If you get a chance to go there, then go to the Stitcher's Haven because that's a really good shop. Okay. 22nd is a Jeanette Douglas 3Bs. So cute, easy stitch. 23rd, I'm super excited about this. This is Stacy Nash Henrietta. I got these at market and sold out almost immediately, and then I waited and waited and waited, and finally they came into my distributor, so I was able to order some more. And I'm going to stitch it on a dark fabric. Very pretty. Day 24 is going to be Lizzie Kate's Summer Smalls. I'm going to do the bee. So I'm just stitching that on a random linen out of my stash. That was the 26th, 27, no, that was 24. 25th, I'm going to stitch Threadwork Primitive Quaker Bird Pinwheel. This is a new release. Well, no, it's not. It came out in 2017. I love that. And I'm stitching it on the called for fabric, which is Peeps Lost Sheep, 32 count. Mm. 26 is another thing that I'm excited about. This is from the Drawn Thread. It's the Simple Samplers, and they're seasonal. So there's 4 of them, and I'm going to start Simply Summer on the 26th. But I'm going to stitch all 4 of them together in a series, and I'm going to start at the top with the summer and then work through it. But these are from Drawn Thread. They're stitched on dirty linen, 32 count dirty Belfast, and with Gentle Arts threads. So there's Simply Summer, there's Simply Winter, Simply Autumn, and Simply Spring. I love those. I have these in my shop as well, and I have the dirty linen. If you want to stitch it as, if you're interested, just let me know and I can sell you the linen for the whole series if you're interested in that. And then the next one, my sister and Bridget and my friend Lisha came over yesterday to help me because I had a stitching emergency. I couldn't get my selections and they helped me. And this is one that Bridget insisted that I stitch. It's called Sampler Folk from Carriage House Sampling. I think it's cute. All those little peeps. And then the 28th is from the Primitive Hare. It's called Needlewoman Busy as a Bee. And I'm going to stitch it on her, what is this? 30 count Old Salem linen. '29 is Basket Full of Summertime from With Thy Needle and Thread. I love that. And I'm going to stitch it on a piece of, I think that's Confederate Gray or Putty, 40 count. Day 30, this one's an interesting one. I saw this at the 2016 market. It's from Needle Made Designs, but it's a series. So there's part 1 is the thimble pocket and the thimble shoe, which is this little humbug looking thing, and then this little pocket. And part 2 is the scissor fob, cases, and a pin keep. And this is stitched on 40 count cedar plank, and that's what I'm going to stitch it on. And it calls for a what is it? It's Wind Whistle Cottage Silk from the Thread Gatherer, and I have a couple of skeins of that. I need to check that. Well, I'll just stitch what I can. Okay, and then the last day, May 31st, is Little House Needleworks, the Little Red Barn, because I haven't started it yet. I just have this random linen that I have in my stash. I'm going to stitch it on there. And that's my plans. That's what I'm going to do for Stitch Mania. I'm going to do 31 days of that, 22 starts. Going to be fun. And then, like I said, Teresa challenged me to stitch every day, stitch on whatever I started the previous day. So every day we add. By the 31st, I'll be stitching on 31 different things. I'm supposed to go on a trip the last week in May. That's, at least I'm renting a car. I can just take it all with me. It'll be fun. So that's my Stitch Mania plans. Like I said, I'm excited. I feel like a breath of fresh air has come through my life. I've got time to do things and I can focus on fun stuff. I plan on doing my videos, and I say this every time, I know, but I'm planning on doing my videos more often. We do not have great internet out on the farm, but we have made some adjustments. So I might be able to upload these videos more often if I can get them done. I'm going to add some things at the end of our bees and our birds. If you're interested, you can watch that. The shop is doing great. That's the other thing that's keeping me busy, happily busy. I love working, doing that stuff. I ordered a bunch of stuff from Hoffman the other day, and it'll be in a lot of Bent Creeks. I've been watching people's videos, not a lot, but I've been watching some people's videos, and they keep showing cute stuff, and then I'm like, I get my laptop, and while I'm watching it, I just add it to my Hoffman order, and that's not good, but it's good. And so I've got a lot of Bent Creek coming in, some of the different rose people have been excited about. And then there was something else that I was excited that just came in. Oh, Heartstring Samplery, her new bee patterns and the bee fobs, festive fobs bees. Super excited about that. I got that ordered too. So if you're interested, check out my shop. It's Jen's Stitching Niche on Etsy, and I'll put the link below. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the videos that follow. It's a very peaceful place that we have here, and I'm very fortunate to be able to live on our family farm. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you hopefully in a couple of weeks. So this is our volunteer hive. We had these stored in a shed, and when we went to get them out, a swarm had moved into them. All the boxes have activity in them. We're hoping to maybe consolidate this. They're not coming in and out too much right now. It's early in the morning. But if you put your ear next to those boxes, you can hear them. Kind of exciting. So this is one of our strongest hives. These ladies work hard. And I'm going to pause for a second because I want to show you the inside of the hive, because we can actually look down into the hive because of a certain type of top that we have. So there's the ladies, and this is a glass top. One of the groups that we work with, he has a glass shop, and his wife started tending bees because she inherited bees from her uncle, I believe, and he developed this type of lid that you can actually see into the hive. It's Bee Gold Honey, if anybody's interested. They're in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Really good group of people. But these are some busy ladies. We got this hive started last year, and this is the best one. And we can split these. Each year you can take some and re-queen, or introduce a queen to a set and actually take one group and divide them into two. Oop, look who decided to join us this morning. She usually sleeps in. Hey Sally, there's my house. Hey Sally. Here's our grape arbor we started a couple of years ago. It's taking time, but it looks like we're going to get some good growth this year. Blueberries and mayhaws. And then one last good shot of those purple martins. There's a lot of them.